Hi everybody, it's Ali, and today I'm going to be doing the Abookalypse tag. I was tagged for this video by the lovely Sarah over at AliensClonesAirships. I will leave a link to her channel and to her video below. Thanks so much for the tag, and I will also leave the original tag down below as well, so you guys can check that out. And I have a lot of books to talk about today, so let's get right into it. Question 1 is evacuate. Everyone is out safely, but you can only go back and grab one book. Which book do you grab and why? So this one is kind of hard because it can be answered a lot of different ways. I kind of took it in a logical sense though, in terms of if I was actually about to experience the end of the world, I would probably want something that will cheer me up, and so that is why I did not choose my first choice, which was Hamlet, because that's a bit of a downer. So I decided on this book, Hamilton the Evolution by Lin-Manuel Miranda and Jeremy McCarter. Obviously, I don't know that this counts as like a book, but it is certainly a bunch of paper bound together, and therefore I think it counts. And as you can probably tell, I love Hamilton, and I have seen it on Broadway, and it's just such a fun time. And so I think if I was about to experience the end of the world, I would want to have some fun singing my shot to myself as the nuclear bombs explode. That's so dark. But okay, this is the book that I would take with me. Number 2, it's the Abookalypse. Choose a book that will help you with survival skills. So I've seen a couple of these videos and a lot of them talk about the Hunger Games. I, however, would choose this book. It is a nonfiction, Between a Rock and a Hard Place by Aaron Ralston. If you guys don't know who this guy is, he was hiking in Utah when a 800-pound boulder fell on his hand and he was trapped there for days upon days. This is the guy who the movie 127 Hours was based off of, and I will say here, if you don't like hearing gross things, just mute the video for the next 5 seconds. But he eventually ends up having to cut off his own hand in order to get out of this horrible, horrible situation. And so while, you guys can come back, those of you who went away. But so in terms of actual survival skills, I would probably want to listen to this guy over Katniss Everdeen. Not that there is anything wrong with Hunger Games, but this guy actually exists, and he actually did this, so I would take some more pointers from him. He also talks not just about hiking in Utah, but also talks about the other kind of excursions he's gone on, so he's like the Bear Grylls of books right here. So I would choose this one. Number 3 is grab anything you will need. Grab a fan or book-related item you want to save. Well, I'm sitting here in my room full of Harry Potter-related knickknacks, and so I will be right back. So the item that I would bring with me is my Harry Potter robe. This is my old Ravenclaw robe. I have not bought a new Gryffindor one as a result of my new test results, but this, I figure, if it's the apocalypse, I might be sleeping outside, it might get cold, and I will want something nice and snuggly to wear, so why not a nice, comfy, magical robe? Number 4 is Zombies Are Coming. Which book on your TBR are you dying to read? So I'm so embarrassed to say this, but I have not read The Hate U Give yet. And before you guys just hate on me until the end of days, I have had the audiobook ready to go for, I think, like a month and a half, and I just have not had the time to give it the attention that it deserves. I do read some books that I know are just going to be a quick read, and so I do read other books that I know I don't need to pay as much attention to, I guess, just a really easy to read books. But The Hate U Give, from everything that I've heard about it, I know that I need to be able to set some time aside for me to get that book into my brain. And so that is why it is at the top of my TBR, but I have not read it yet. But I promise I will read it before I watch the movie, 100%. So yes, please don't hate me. Number 5 is We Need Fire. Which 3 books would you be willing to burn from your shelf? Yes, you have to choose. So I feel a little bit bad doing this, but the books that I would burn are the Maze Runner series by James Dashner. Now, I have nothing against these books per se. I know that these are some of those books that people either love or hate. I just kind of didn't really get into them. I guess it's more fair to say that I didn't get into the first one because I haven't read these 2, but these. I bought all 3 of these books from Target immediately after seeing the first Maze Runner movie. I figured that since I have almost always liked the book better than the movie, that if I liked the movie so much, I would adore the books. And not so much. Like I said, I don't have anything against them. I just really didn't get into them. I thought that the kind of slang terms that the boys use are a little bit overdone sometimes. It was a really interesting concept. I just didn't love the follow through with it, and so I eventually ended up getting kind of bored, and I didn't end up reading the other 2 books. Number 6 is All the Stories Are True. Which fictional world would you never be able to survive in? For me, that is where the Hunger Games comes in. I do not have any illusions about myself. I would be one of the first people to die in the Hunger Games. I do not have great endurance. I do not do a lot of cardio. I would just crumble. I think my best case scenario would be to pull a fox face and just hide for the entire time, but I don't think I would make it very far. So if I was in the Hunger Games world, I'm a goner. Number 7 is Lone Survivor. Which character would you choose to be your companion or protector during the Abookalypse? So for this one, I immediately knew I was going to choose a character from the Six of Crows duology. I absolutely adore every single character, and they are all pretty much badass. So I just had to decide which one, and I think it would probably have to be Inej. Not only is Inej a absolute just mastermind with blades and flipping around and sneaking around things, she also is a 100% certified mom friend, and out of anybody in Six of Crows, she is probably the only one that I could rely on to actually come help me if I was in trouble. I think the other guys would leave and go shoot some things. So Inej Gafa. Number 8 is Procreate. All of the literature is gone. Which book would you introduce as the first new classic? So for this one, I am choosing Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor. I absolutely adore this book. It is probably one of my favorite books of all time. And as of filming this video, I am about to get my hands on Muse of Nightmares. It is almost out, and I cannot wait, which is the sequel to this book, obviously. But I just absolutely adore this book. I adore the world that Taylor builds in this book. I adore the characters. I think it just has such a beautiful aesthetic as a world and such really intriguing characters and such an intriguing story. I absolutely love it, if you cannot tell, and that is pretty much the only reason why I would want it to be the new classic in this post-apocalypse world. Plus, blue people might actually be a thing that happens in a post-nuclear world. Who knows what radiation would do? And the last question, number 9, start a new community, tag a Booktube buddy. So for this one, I was tagged by, like I said before, AliensClonesAirships, and she tagged a bunch of people, including a lot of the people that I would have tagged. So I'm just going to expand it out to everybody. I tag the person who's watching this if you have a Booktube channel. If you don't have a Booktube channel, make this video, I dare ya. But yeah, just if you want to make this video, make this video. It's a really fun tag. Do it. So that is all of it. That is the last question. That is the last thing that I have to do. So I will see you guys next time, and thank you again to AliensClonesAirships for tagging me. I had a lot of fun. So I will see all of you in the next video.